it hit just outside the line where Erasmus is thinking so. Lyon and Cummins didn't even come together. There's no point coming together because they've got no reviews left as well.
Yeah, we saw about half an hour ago the Australian captain have a look at the caught behind Ollie Robinson. It was clearly missing everything. He put his hand up and accepted that he got that one wrong, which leaves Australia with a cupboard bare as far as reviews are concerned. Played well, Robinson, hasn't he? He's looked pretty comfortable. He's looking to put the foot down a little bit more now that he's batting with the tail enders. He's solid in defence.
Single to finish off the over. He'll keep the strike. 243 for 8.
Ama wala dulu ya. Ama dah.
We come to expect the Ashes is about to witness another game.
It's a record chase for England in Test cricket.
Will the English strike back?
We're desperate to get it back.
Watch cricket's arch rivals, England and Australia, lock horns in the Ashes, only on Sony Sports Network.
The 100 for Ollie Robinson came in his debut for Sussex against Durham. Cummins has been outstanding. As David Warner. A little bit of taunting going on to the Holly stand.
Yeah, that's not fair, Pat Cummins. You cannot put David Warner out in front of the crowd there. He's just moving even more and more in front of them right now.
Well, Tim Payne put him out there through the 2019 series, which was, oh, you may as well just get in there. Interesting. It's a single.
This is going to be really frustrating, I reckon, for the Australian fast bowlers. They want to come in, they want to try and shorten him up, and there's just nothing in the wicket. There's no light in the surface at all. That was 85 miles an hour, and you saw how easily Robinson played that. It's worth a change of angle for Hazlewood to Robinson, though. Around the wicket, they want to bowl the short balls. And they know, if anything, with him, he wants to back away. So by him backing away, these short balls actually become easier for him to hit. Where if you change the angle and start around the wicket and the ball's coming at his body, still when you back away, then the ball is still in the line of your body. It makes it harder to free your arms. It makes them that there's only really one part of the ground you can hit the ball to, which is mid-wicket and square leg, but they've got catchers back for that.
It's either that or the Cummins in-swinging Yorker that we saw earlier today to get Pope. It's a carbon copy. This time it's broad.
It's also a very good option, Mel, just with that York. I'm not sure if it'd be the same reverse swing that we saw this morning, but I think it's getting quite predictable in length now. Both these batsmen. So I mean, Stuart Broad's probably used to it against Australia his whole career. There's not been too many pitched up ever. But the fact they are giving themselves some room and looking to hit now, target the base of that off stump or even leg stump, try and follow the batsman a little bit.
That's that Yorker length delivery we were just speaking about. It was a little bit too wide though.
Just looked to be a little bit of shape too, maybe a little bit of outswing. Was it reverse swing? No, it's actually conventional. It is too. The shiny side, you see the rough side actually in the direction of where the slips would be or down the third man. Conventional swing, and this ball is in its 59th over.
said, kind of that crease line is what Josh Hazelwood is looking for particularly for when Robinson is backing away.
Yeah, it's perfectly executed. Well kept out. Robinson had no right really to catch up with that one either. Look how far he was down the wicket, outside leg. Jams down on it late.
So 2 full deliveries to Robinson. Still got Marnus Labuschagne under the lid at short leg. He's just got so much time with his pitch, not offering a lot of pace, and he's got the skill as well.
But just this angle and the line of that short ball is allowing you to play that shot. If you have a look at their field leg side, fine leg, deep backward square, deep forward square. So if you're going to err on line, err to the leg side. You can't let Robinson hit it down there. Make him hit the ball on the leg side. The only way you can do that is by following the batsman. As soon as you see him move, you've got to adjust your line and follow him.
The adjustment being made now by Pat Cummins is that Steve Smith has slotted himself along the line of probably a third slip, 2/3 of the way to the boundary line. And he's up to the task. Here's Robinson. Likewise, Nathan Lyon. Question is he okay? Maybe just a little bit of wind. 251 for
8. Pro Banja League starts Friday 28th July on Sony Sports Network. Watch the Women's Ashes. England women versus Australia women. One-off test starts Thursday 22nd June. Live on Sony Sports Network.
What's Ben Stokes thinking here in terms of this lead and how England will? We know how England will play. Well, Nathan Lyon play after this full extension of that right shoulder, plus the throw in, and then is just a little bit of tweaking in that right shoulder in around the neck area. Let's see how he delivers this first ball at the 60th over.
Pretty well. Landed it right on the spot. The thing with those big dives like that is when you're fully outstretched, you can see his face almost planting into the deck. It's almost the whiplash you get through your neck. It's the unsettling thing. He was grabbing at the back of that right shoulder, but it appeared to be okay. See how? I mean, remember here he's travelling at full pace as well. Peek at that baggy green, come up with a bit of grass on it.
Travis Head with a huge cheer from the Hollies as he deposits a beach ball back in the stand. That's a good way of winning over the Hollies stand.
We haven't seen many of those today. Alex Carey not getting one right in the middle of his gloves. His keeping's been outstanding. Whether it's been up. That's how to win the crowd back, Travis. Good boy. Although he's thrown it straight to 3 guys in Aussie shirts.
Looks to take on Lyon, chips it in the air, and it is just short of Cameron Green.
Water Broad's options here against Nathan Lyon. He does like to play that little paddle sweep, doesn't he? Gets a lot, tries to get outside the line. They've got a 45 there in Scott Boland, waiting for a little top edge. There'll be a paddle sweep, or he'll wait for something that can cut. Mid wicket's open. Lyon wants Broad to hit across the line, play across the spin. There's that sweep. Just thinking about the leg side field, he doesn't really look to hit it very hard either. You can see on the top left of screen, there's two men all the way back on the boundary. Bring them up about 20 yards. Make him think about trying to hit it over their head.
2 runs from the over, 253 for 8.
Upright and swings on the way through to Carey. It's actually what I was talking to Alex Carey about this morning, is that has there been a way he's been able to work on his keeping for balls that swing late? It's very unusual. You don't see it in Australia at all, the Kookaburra ball. He made reference to, for a couple of seasons in Australia, we did use the Duke ball in Sheffield Shield cricket to try and get our batsmen better against the swinging ball, but also to educate our bowlers of the right way to look after it and have, keep it in the right condition.
Different for you, Hunter, because you didn't bowl a lot. We have spoken about your magnificent ODI wickets over the last couple of days, but physically fatiguing, naturally, Test match cricket, but mentally, how does he recover day after day as a skipper?
Yeah, it would be tough. No doubt about it. I mean, it was probably a little bit easier for a batsman captain, which is probably part of the reason there haven't been a lot of fast bowling captains, to be honest. But it's also really important, as the series goes on, it's okay for Pat right now. Obviously, the Test match, World Test Champion final last week, he's had 3 months off from cricket before that. But the challenge for him and for Australia, and actually for England, as the summer goes on, can they get this group of fast bowlers through these 5 Test matches? And him being captain makes it even a bigger problem for Australia. So that's why I feel that Cameron Green plays such a big role in this side, to give Cummins a bit of a chop out with the ball at different times. And as the series goes on, I think it's more important for Pat as captain on field to share the load around a little bit more. Even some of the planning meetings, things like that, maybe just give himself a break here and there, just to let the other senior players and the coaches do a lot of that work, just so he can stay as fresh as possible.
Played once again there by Robinson, showing a bit of skill with the bat. 254 for 8.
The mission is quite clear.
Climb the ladder, grab the briefcase.
only on Sony Sports Network.
Boland, he's just left the ground. Marcus Harris is on. Tipping it's just for this over as we see Nathan Lyon settling in. Coming into his 22nd over. Australia at 53% chance of winning.
Well, Josh Hayes, we saw last over Ollie Robinson use his feet and try and chip Nathan Lyon down the ground. There's Cameron Green at long on. He's actually about 20 metres off the rope. I like that because that's taking that little chip shot away and tempting the batsman to try and go over his head. And that's when he uses his feet, Robinson, that's exactly where he's looking. He's looking down at long on. There's about a 50 or 60 metre gap between long on and deep mid-wicket. If I was him, I'd be thinking about hitting it into that gap, not trying to go over mid-on, but use the gaps in the field.
Oh, mate.
I think Lyon can really slow it down. He must feel that he knows Robinson wants to come after him. It's normally the way a spinner will operate. The first couple of balls, just try and keep the batsman back in his crease, push it through a bit flatter, keep him there, and then toss him up a bit slower.
Robinson goes after it straight. Green is taken out of the equation until he gets that big right hand, but the mitt's in the way.
It's a good shot. It's good use of the feet. It's it nicely down the ground. Close enough to the pitch of the ball to be able to hit it straight. If he doesn't quite get close enough to the pitch of that, with the ball spinning in, he's going to drag that to long on.
Well, he's chipped that in the air. Green hardly has to move. Nathan Lyon happy to give away one to tempt him to go again. 2 runs the ball before he got back on strike. And then Nathan Lyon gets his man.
Great bowling, also good captaincy. The fact that that man came in a little bit more, there's no doubt in my mind he's tried to clear on here. A freer, fuller swing of the bat. And it's a big man to carry down there as well. Cam Green's all 6'7" of him. The heart rate goes up, as we know, standing under a high ball in Ashes cricket. But he doesn't put too many down. So Robinson goes. England 256 for 9.
Watch the European Qualifiers 2024 live on Sony Sports Network.
Aggression is what we've come to expect.
The Ashes is about to witness a new game.
It's a record chase for England in Test cricket.
This too will be English strike back.
We're desperate to get it back.
Watch cricket's arch rivals, England and Australia, lock horns in the Ashes, only on Sony Sports Network.
Last of the England batters.
Sports Network.
Oh, 1,000 runs to his name.
Aggression is what we've come to expect.
The Ashes.
That's his best too, of 81. And the reverse straight away. Boy, to the crowd like that. Jimmy loves it as well. You can't tell by his face. But trust me, smiling on the inside. 260 for 9.
Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Undertaker, The Rock, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and more.
We're desperate to get it back.
Watch cricket's arch rivals, England and Australia. Starts Friday 28th July on Sony Sports Network. Watch the women's Ashes
Of the England batters.
Australia Sports Network. Test starts Thursday, 26th
That's his best too, of 81. Best of mates out in the middle, batting together. Now he practices the field defence. I haven't seen it too much.
Jimmy loves it as well. You can't tell by his face.
60 for 9. Once again, Cummins
Steve Austin, The Undertaker, The
two-thirds of the way.
Rock, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and
Watch the women's
Of the England women's.
Broad gets a single and then walks all the way back down again just to have a chat to Jimmy Anderson. How are they going to manufacture a few more runs here? Conversation about getting Broad back on strike, where you're going to score your runs. For David Warner and Usman Khawaja, their mind will be on this delivery, but in between when they're switching off, they're now starting to think about opening up the batting for Australia as well.
I'm not sure how many bats